Kendall Desmond here, TNE, the Nerdvana Experience. Um, let's get straight to it. All right, so look, it's a couple things I want to talk about today. I didn't record the episode last week because I was busy with work, but I'm getting it in today. So I want to talk about a little bit about the presidential campaign. I'm gonna go over some of the highlights. Um, I'm talking about the future of the Nerdvana Experience and some of the humanitarian work that I plan on doing. But without further ado, let's go and get this shit started. All right, so before I get into presidential campaign or anything I want to talk about, the main thing I want to talk about right now is the importance of like self care. Um, recently, I've been feeling some type of way. I've been, everybody have stages in their life where they deal with mental health issues. Um, the issues I've been dealing with lately has been dealing with my self confidence and my self esteem. Um, I'm at the age now. I'm 31, going to be 32 in about 5 months. I'm at the age now where I wanna start a family, but it's so hard finding the woman that I want to be with. First and foremost, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't no man is perfect, no woman is perfect, right? So it ain't no such thing as the perfect mate. But damn, man, I at least want somebody that got some type of sense of decency and morals and goal oriented and sweet and loving, and just not like doing horse shit. I mean, I just don't want this shit for my woman, me personally. I mean, if you single and you want to be out here doing what you want to do and live your best life, go ahead, so be it. But for me, at the age that I am now, I don't want to. And people may say that I'm just not hitting my stride and hitting my my best years in my 30s, but bruh, I don't want to just be out here just wandering around and not having no purpose in life. Not saying that kids will give me purpose, but like I want at least one child. You know what I'm saying? Leave my legacy behind and do that. I've really been feeling kind of like low and by myself. Um, I don't know where this feeling coming from, but I just feel that way. I don't know why, and I'm gonna get over it. And there's one woman that I want to be with. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm not gonna say her name, um, but there's one woman I want to be with more than anything. I'm not saying she the perfect woman. She'll be perfect for me or nothing like that. But that's who I want to be with. Um, she's one of the most sweetest women I've ever met in my life. At times she can be so like funny, bro. Like every time I talk to her, we be laughing. She just had me laughing and shit. That's another thing that I love about her. She can articulate herself well at certain times. Um, not saying that, like I said, not saying that she perfect because she got issues too, but you know what I'm saying. She pretty, and her personality make her 10 times more pretty than me. I believe that's why I'm so blindsided because she already look good, but then her personality take that shit to the next level. The whole thing about it, might be asking me, Desmond, why you ain't with her? It ain't the time. She don't want to take it there with me. And I'm at the point now, I'm like, I ain't finna force it. I don't want to. One, I ain't no trick ass nigga. I don't want to force it and beg her to be with me and all that type of shit. I want this shit to happen naturally and it's the right time for both of us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's what I want. Like, if I was to be with her, I think uh everything will work out. Well, at least I think so. Because the type of man that I am, the type of woman she is, I think we'll balance it out and we'll be together and help each other out and we'll just live life together. Um, Outside of that, man, I'd be straight. Um, what I really want to do with the Nirvana experience, I said this multiple times. I want to build a team that's like, all right, so for instance, with me, I don't know how to edit like really, really good. So when I stream, all right, so the Nirvana experience is a brand. You got the podcast and you got the streams and all that type of shit, right? I want to put a team together that want to help me realize what I see for the brand. So what I'm saying is like what I mean is like let's say okay, I got the podcast. I do the podcast myself. Jay Jamal he helped me when he can because he doing his own thing. But I want somebody that's like all right when I stream instead of me having to clip my videos and upload them and all type of shit. I want somebody that's strictly dedicated to clipping my shit, uploading it. Then I have somebody that's promoting the podcast and promoting the stream and all type of stuff. Like I want a whole team built around the Nirvana experience so we can make this brand grow. That's what I really want more than anything. I can do it myself, but it's harder doing it myself. But I'm doing it still, but it's just more work doing it myself. And I want to have somebody to help me with it so it can grow. I'm not good with promoting on social media and all type of stuff. To be honest, I don't even know how to even like. I don't even know how to handle this type of shit. But that's what I want. I want that. Another thing I want to do for the Nirvana experience. Out here where I live, I'm in the process of finding out where I can go to do humanitarian work. Whether it be for helping people, helping animals, cleaning the community, anything like that. That's what I'm working towards. Um, that's something that I really, really, really want to get into. Um, and I want to record like make content of me doing it. Um, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the humanitarian work just so I can have content, but I always want to do stuff for the earth and for the people, animals and shit. To this day, Heal the World Part One is the most listened to and most downloaded episode of TNE. So people know that I'm passionate about humanitarian work and doing stuff for nature and shit like that. Um, as far as the members of TNE, as for right now, like I'm in a transition period where I'm moving, I'm doing stuff in my life and everything, so I haven't been 100% on TNE like I supposed to. So it's been, I say out of 100%, I'm 70% focused on TNE because I got real life other shit going on, but I'm making sure my dream don't die because this is what I love to do. I love doing the podcast. So as for right now, the members of the Nirvana Experience is me, J Jamal, and Chris. Like, but we doing our own thing. And Jay, he kind of pulled back because he dealing with his issues with his life and doing what he got to do to what I'm saying, because he really got involved and started doing this just to help me out because this is my dream and what I want to do. He being a brother, being supportive, and helping me and that type of shit. But I say by the end of the year, this should be like a well-oiled machine, like pushing out content and doing what we got to do. Um, Another thing is, uh, Chris, he finna start streaming on TikTok. Uh, he finna build his audience over there. I'm gonna stream still on the platforms that I stream on. Um, yeah, man, I'm just trying to expand TNE. That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's easier said than done. You gotta put in the work. That's cool, cause it's like this the part that I like. Because in the future, sometime in the future, when we take off and we have a global audience or we have a big audience, I want to be able to have interviews with people and look back on this time period and be like, this was the best time period of me uh, putting this stuff together and we working together, trying to create content and do all this type of shit. So, yeah, man, that's what I want to go. I mean, that's what I want to do as far as the Nirvana Experience brand. Um, I was gonna talk about. Oh yeah, before I go any further, um, I don't know how many people listen to. I mean, watch like love comic books like I do, especially DC comics or whatever. But it's this YouTuber. He go by the name of Comicstorian. His real name is Ben Potter. A couple weeks ago, he passed away, and he was like very prolific on YouTube, right? Uh, what he'll do, what his channel is about, he get the comics and read the story, but he narrate them himself and do stuff himself, but he doing it in a way where he won't get copyrighted, but he's still telling the story of that comic. Like I watched him cover the whole Injustice comic, the Injustice 2 comic. I watched his X-Men the full story, like telling everything about X-Men. Um, I watched some of everything. And he got like what? I forgot how many subscribers he have on his channel, but he real popular when it come down to that genre of what he do. And he passed away unfortunately, and it's just sad because like when I want to know stuff about uh uh my comics and stuff, I go to his page. But the reason I even brought this up because I recently just found out news about why how he passed away that came out. This came out about 3 weeks ago. Like I said, I'm kind of behind on TNE, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So okay, this man. Let's see. I'm up here texting Chris now. I'm trying to see do he want to record an episode of TNE. Uh. All right. So this was a little bit of the report from Comicstorian's cause of death. Let's see.
In internet community news, police just revealed the cause of death for Ben Potter, aka Comicstorian. Right? And if you don't know, he was this massive YouTuber who broke down and recapped a ton of comic book history. But on Monday, we saw his wife post this very tragic update on his X account saying, 2 days ago on June 8th, my husband, Ben Potter, passed away in an unfortunate accident. Ben spent over 10 years spreading his love and appreciation for his hobbies. It was through his love of exciting stories and well-written characters that got him started on YouTube. The team and I want to keep that going, to honor him by continuing to tell great stories by great people, as well as to keep the memory of our very own superhero alive. We supported each other on everything we wanted to do, and I'm not about to stop now. And while we saw a ton of people grieving and also celebrating and remembering his legacy, including a number of big creators and brands in the space, it was really all we knew at the time. But then yesterday, we saw the Colorado State Patrol release a statement saying that Ben had been driving down the interstate Saturday morning when his truck drove off the right shoulder, crossed the frontage road, and rolled several times. With CSP adding that he died at the scene, also saying that Ben had been buckled, that he was the only person in the truck, and that no other vehicles had been involved in the crash. And while CSP hasn't said what they thought caused the crash, they said investigators said that they don't believe that he was speeding or on drugs or alcohol. But as of now, that's really all we know about this incredibly tragic loss of a very gifted creator and storyteller. And unfortunately, this ends up being yet another reminder of just how fragile life is. How every interaction we have with one another, it could be the last. You just don't know, and it never hurts to let those that you love know it. Because while hopefully, and most of the time, you will get another chance, there will be a time where it is the last. And it's also a reminder that we are not just our bodies. We are the stories we tell. We are the people we bring together. And I think it's important to try to find life lessons and stuff like this, because while it does not make it easier, it can hopefully lead to a different kind of good in the world.
Yeah. So that was from YouTube channel PDS News Clips. But yeah, man, I just found out. I just found out about there was a little news that we just found out about his death a little while ago. But it's just sad, bro. Like you said, you never know when it's your last day. That's why I try to talk to my friends and and my siblings and let them know how I feel about them and all that type of stuff. You know, we joke on each other and real with each other. Same thing with Star and my nigga Jordan, my friend Ashley, like uh, who is like Jordan. Uh, Shout outs to Star, Jordan, Kim, Anaya, my nigga Cord. Shout out to Mr. Gary. Like those my guys. Those my day ones. Um, should just send a shout out to them. Um, they doing what they do. They enjoying today. You know, today the holiday and shit like that. The 4th of July. I'm recording this on the 4th of July. It's gonna get uploaded on the 4th of July. Um, this man, I can't have shit. But yeah, man. So let's get into. Oh yeah, another thing I want to talk about. My thoughts all over my head. So recently, I know I never talked about this throughout the Nerdvana Experience, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I have a love hate relationship with their brand. But recently, uh, it's two games from TMNT that was delisted from the Steam stores and basically all digital stores. The only way you can get them games is if somebody is selling them, or you can fuck around and find them at your local GameStop or whatever. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, and Out of the Shadows. Those two games, bro. I tried to buy Out of the Shadows the other day. I looked online. Somebody was selling that game for $1,015. Like that's how rare that game is. So by me being on PC, you know, I found some deals, and I fucked around and found somebody that was selling TMNT Out of the Shadows and TMNT Mutants in Manhattan. And I went back and I was currently like recently playing those games, and it made me realize how much I real deal like the Ninja Turtles, bro. Like on my computer right now, on the background of my computer right now is a wallpaper of the Ninja Turtles, like right now as we speak. But it's the variation of the Ninja Turtles when they had white eyes, and like if you know anything about Ninja Turtles, they go through different variants. Like they had the classic, then they had the '80s, then they have the one that came out in the early 2000s, the one from the Michael Bay movies, the Nickelodeon version. Like mine is kind of like the comic book version with the white eyes, and they have their own. They still have they you know uh, distinctive bandanas over their eyes. Um, as a matter of fact, the variation of the Ninja Turtles that's on my computer right now are the version from the early '90s Sega Genesis, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. They came out on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. That's the version of the Ninja Turtles that I have on my computer right now. They look mean. They don't look cartoony. They don't look kiddie. Like they still look like they like can whoop somebody's ass. They like not too childish. They still look mature and shit. So that's what's on my computer right now. And like I said, I've been playing those games recently. I'm like, man, this shit fun. I can see why. Um, this is like some of the best fun I had in the video game recently because right now really I ain't playing nothing. I've been playing Destiny a little bit, Destiny 2 a little bit, and I'm really waiting for October 7th because that's when Tenkaichi come out. Tenkaichi 4. Um, I'm really just waiting on that, but in reality, man, I really haven't been playing no games. But when I came across the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, it just brought like some type of joy and happiness to me because at first, it wasn't right. But the the last Ronin, I think that's what the name of it is. The last Ronin, is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic that's out. All the turtles died except for Michelangelo, and he got their weapons, and he the last turtle that's alive. But he's completely different from the Michelangelo that we grew up knowing. You know, Michelangelo was the surfer dude, and he was like Bodacious is like he the ones who the surfer dude who's silly, the jokester of the group, eat pizza all the time and all that type of shit. But now he's more serious, like He's like a mixture of Leonardo and Raphael, if you know who those is, if you know the Ninja Turtles like that. But yeah, so like I'm currently reading that. Right now they currently, I think they said they're making a movie or a game or something surrounding that premise, the last Ronin premise. And bruh, yes, bruh. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I'm just having fun, and I'm actually glad that I rediscovered it. Um, it's really been it's really been like I said, some of the best fun. I mean, some of the most fun I had in the video game recently. Because for some reason I just been out of it. Like, bro, I just been out of it. I haven't been playing any video games or anything like that because shit, I've been working. All right, but I want to go over some highlights. All right, this year, the United States of America has their presidential debates, the campaigns, and the presidential election in November. So far, as of July 4th, 2024, the front runner for the Democratic Party is current President Joe Biden, and for the Republican side is former President Donald Trump. They had their first debate in 2024 a couple of days ago. What was it? Last week or something like that. And I watched some of it, but uh, I didn't watch all of it. And from the highlights that I seen, okay, me personally, I'd rather have Barney the dinosaur as the president right now over Trump and Biden. Because even though Trump be saying shit that makes sense, he still got his agenda. And President Joe Biden, he's at the age where he's not really too much competent. Not saying that he's incompetent. He's not incompetent, but he's not always there. Because he stumbled over words, he forget what he say. He's just an older man now. Like right now, at his age, at the end, like let's just say President Biden get reelected for a second term. At the end of his term, he's gonna be 84 years old. And I remember watching something on the news where somebody it was on Fox News, and they concern was, what if President Biden get reelected for a second term and he end up dying, and Vice President, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris take over and become president? They was like they don't think that's a good idea and all that type of shit. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So let's go to the presidential debate. I got a couple of highlights. What we're gonna go over. The first one I want to talk about is when they were talking about abortion. Uh, Joe Biden said he completely agree with the Roe v. Wade. Now, if you don't know what Roe v. Wade is, um, Roe v. Wade was a case where they were talking about abortions and established the rights of a woman to terminate the pregnancy via abortion. So, in the Roe versus Wade, the Supreme Court decided that the right to privacy implied in the 14th Amendment protected abortion as a fundamental right. So they basically were saying that according to the 14th Amendment, a woman have the right to have an abortion. That's her right. But however, the government retained the power to regulate or restrict abortion depending on the stage of the pregnancy. So if a woman was a certain stage in her pregnancy, powers that be were like, you know what, nah, you too far along, you can't have the abortion. So that's basically what Roe v. Wade is. And President Joe Biden said he completely agreed with that. But Trump had other shit to say. So this right now we're gonna go to the abortion highlight of what both of them were talking about.
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period.
So, according, like I said, according to like both of them, they had their stances. President Trump is not for abortion. Like, see, all right. So when it comes down to this, I always say a woman's body, she can do whatever she wants with her body, right? But when it comes down to abortion, me personally, I don't want to. It's so tricky with that because, like, who's to say that a woman didn't get raped or it's a case of incest or anything like that? I'm all for the abortion, but if a woman, people have to be responsible, right? Let's just say you an adult, man or woman adult, and both of y'all decide to have sex and a baby is made throughout that. And a woman be like, you know what? I'm not ready to have a baby. And she go through the process of having an abortion. That's where my flag come up. I'm like, nah, you knew what you was doing. You knew what it takes to make a baby. But now since you don't want, don't want to be responsible for a baby, you're going to have an abortion. I'm not with that shit. I'm just not. Now, if she, and then me, I'm a victim of, because like, whether you want to believe it or not, men can be victims of abortion. Because I got a woman pregnant, the same woman. Look, if abortion was illegal, I have 3 babies right now, right? In 2018, I met a woman at my job. We hooked up. We was hanging out with each other all the time. We were together for like 6 months, and she ended up getting pregnant. She ghosted me, and she told me she was pregnant. She ghosted me. I didn't hear shit from her for like 3 weeks to a month. And then when I finally did hear from her, she told me that she had went to what it was, Arkansas or some shit like that, Kansas or something, and she had an abortion. And she wasn't ready to have no baby. But like 4 months later, she got pregnant again and she kept that baby. I'm like, damn, so what changed within 4 months? You just didn't want to have a baby with me. But you knew we didn't have protection. You went on birth control. I didn't wear a condom. None of that shit. So you just didn't want to have a baby with me. So I'm like, damn. So I ain't even had no choice. She didn't even talk to me about the situation, which was the most hurtful part of it. She didn't even talk to me about it. And I'm like, damn, bro, that was my baby. Then you move forward, and I met another woman, same woman, got her pregnant. The same shit happened. Same shit happened. Ghost my ass. Got an abortion. Her mom she was a young girl. She was like 22, 21. My mom told me she wasn't gonna help me with the baby and all that type of shit. I wasn't ready to have no baby. Just aborted the baby. We ended up hooking up again. We did something again. Same thing happened again. She aborted the baby again. Now she just recently had a baby. So years later, you want to have a baby, and you probably was ready now. But years ago, she wasn't ready. That's why I went a whole 5-year period without even like having sex with a woman. 1, because of my beliefs, and 2, I didn't want to go through that type of hurt again. Right? So like I couldn't do it to myself. So men can be a victim of abortions. Moving forward, President Trump and President Biden were talking about the insurrection that happened on January 6, 2021.
He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible.
Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, And you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. And I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President
president.
Trump, the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
That man Showstar, that man Showstar talking about other shit instead of answering the question directly to what old girl asked. But see, that's why I like Trump sometimes. Cause one thing, before we go further, one thing about Donald Trump, he was a celebrity businessman before he became a president and got in politics. So this nigga is very entertaining. You know, he say dumb shit. This man is very entertaining.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time. You only
Bro, I said this before on TNE. When it comes down to the insurrection that happened on January 6, 2021, most of them folks was white folk, right? I can guarantee you, if I had the power to go back in time and to manipulate time, if I was to go back in time and had black folks do that, them folks would have been shot down in the front yard. All the folks going into the chambers and doing this folks, all the shit in the folks' offices and shit, we would have never got that far. And they're just the cold, honest truth. Because it wouldn't have been no trying to reason with us or nothing. If black folk would have did the insurrection on January 6th, we would have been shot down, and they would have been saying to this day, years later, 3-4 years later, that we the reason why this country in the state that it's in. Because they already saying it. They saying it about our Hispanic brothers and sisters. They saying this about the Native American brothers and sisters. They saying this about the other cultures and races that come to the country. We the reason why the United States of America is in the condition that it's in now. We the reason why there ain't no job because the Hispanic people coming in and taking over. We the reason why we waste a lot of food because we don't care about nothing. It's a lot of shit that go on in America that other countries around the world see us and be like, I don't see why people even want to move over there. And then black people get ridiculed and get put at the forefront. Bro, the propaganda against black folks and Hispanic people are so worldwide by the United States that, like, if you go to China or Japan or anything like that, they automatically assume that we on some thug bullshit. Like black people are not monolithic. We not the same, bro. Japanese people will see us and automatically think that we like a celebrity or an athlete or something like that. And if we not one of those, we automatically fall into the category of being a thug or something. Now it's a handful of Asian people who see us and genuinely be like curious. Our hair texture, our hairstyles, the way we dress, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we move. Like for us to be get treated as bad as we do, we're the front runner of pushing culture forward in the whole entire world, not just in rap, not just in hip hop, not just in the United States, all over the world. Because when the LGBTQ community want to like men that are part of the LGBTQ community, when they want to portray women, they portray the black woman. They act like the black woman. People want to say, well, braids and locks and all type of stuff was started doing like the Vikings had it. Okay, that's cool. But we know that we are the originators of a lot of stuff, and that's cool. It's cool that we like push culture forward. It's cool that we had that much influence like that. But at the end of the day, people want to be black until it's time to be black. They're just the God honest truth. People want to be black because they like our style, our swagger, our culture, our music, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we dance, the way we interact with the world. But people don't want to be black because they don't want to get the type of treatment that we get. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to get mistreated and called a nigga or like just like the way the LGBT community feel when they get misgendered. That's how we feel when people like treat us bad and be racist towards us. And it ain't even just us; it's towards like a Hispanic people and the Native American people and certain Asians that come over here. Like we not the only ones who get mistreated. Everybody get mistreated, but we get the most mistreatment throughout the course of history. And they're just the fact of it. It was one part of these folks out here popping fireworks already. I probably hear it in the background. It was one part of the debate, the highlight that I want to listen to again, when Trump was complaining about Biden and the Israeli wars and shit like that. So I'm gonna go to that, and then we're gonna kind of wrap it up.
Convicted.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do, all he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in.
Now, look, we gotta keep this shit a buck. Under the Trump administration, it wasn't that many people crossing the border like that. And at the same time, I remember when some Haitians crossed the border, some black people crossed their border. It was some men on a horse with a whip abusing those people, and we haven't heard shit else about that. I can't remember if that was under the Trump administration or at the beginning of the Biden administration, but I remember that happening, and nobody said nothing about this shit, and it just gone away. Now under the Biden administration, the border patrols are weak. Immigrants are pouring in by the ass loads. Like it's crazy, bro. I was talking to somebody, and they was like in their apartments, bro. It's so many Hispanics that live over there in a trap. All right, so for people who not black and don't understand what a trap is an abandoned apartment building or an abandoned house that don't have no electricity or running water. It's just a abandoned place. So there's a lot of people living in these traps in the abandoned apartments, abandoned houses. There's a whole bunch of them in one unit, in multiple units and stuff like that. And they making it do what it do, and it's a whole apartment complex just like that. So like that, it has been happening under the Biden administration.
His dream. I talked to him about it. His dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything, no money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas, number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept.
Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Trump really was on that man ass. But if you want to hear the rest of the debate was like an hour and 30 minutes long or something like that. But there were just a couple of highlights I wanted to talk about that I had took notes of when I was getting the notes ready for the show. Like I said, this ain't gonna be a long one. Like I got some more stuff working in progress. I'm still in the process of trying to make TNE what I want it to be. My vision is coming together slowly but surely. As always, like I say at the end of every episode, to the people who listen to the show and come back and listen to it, I appreciate you. For all the new listeners who discovered the show overseas. Oh, yeah, I was just talking to my cousin today, and I was telling her that I looked at the analytics, and most of the listeners that we have for the Nerdvana Experience are overseas in different countries. I want to say I appreciate y'all, everybody in Singapore, Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and Germany, New Zealand, like all the other Asian Pacific countries, like everybody who listens to it overseas, and even the people that listen to it in the United States of America. I appreciate everybody who listens to the show. Like I say all the time, y'all making this dream come true. I fuck with y'all. Y'all part of the village. Y'all Nerdvana is just like I am, just like Jay is, just like Chris is. Like I say, until next time, I'll see y'all next week. Peace.